Hi everyone, let's build a Warmoth Tele. In this segment we'll be installing the strap lock buttons. First I'm measuring to make sure absolutely that the bridge is centered properly. And then we'll measure from the center of the bridge to the body, making sure that it's aligned square to the end of the bridge so we know it's straight. Don't let the grain fool you. If you want to measure it, don't eyeball this. Once we know where the center of the guitar is, we'll measure to the center of the body, front to back. We'll use our good friend Jatoba to keep the bottom of our ruler straight and level. And then we'll measure and make our mark. For this build we'll be using the Schaller S-locks, strap locks, my favorite. First we'll check to make sure the awl we're using is not too big. We don't want to make our pilot holes too large for the screw to bite into the wood. Carefully line it up in the hole we made and tap lightly. You want to make sure that your awl is parallel to the face of the guitar. Once you've gotten it roughed in, I find it easier to clamp the body between my legs with a towel, and then you can get a good look at what you're doing. Make sure you're holding the awl straight again, and tap gently. At a certain point, the awl is going to go ahead and hold itself into the hole. Kind of see there at the beginning. Once we've got a good pilot hole made, we'll carefully take the awl out and check our hole. Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. Certainly good enough to start with a drill. We'll again check our bit against the screw. We want to make sure that we're not drilling out too much wood. What you want is a drill that's going to remove the center portion. You can see here, if you look closely, you can see where there's the center solid metal, and then there's the screw teeth visible on the outer edges. You want to leave as much wood for the teeth to bite into as possible while getting rid of all of that center shank wood. Here you'll want to be careful to make sure you get your drill bit loaded into the drill straight. It is possible to have the bit off to one side or the other, and then the tip of the drill will never drill in a straight line. See here that we've got it. In this case it doesn't matter as much, but it's always a good practice to tape your depth to make sure you don't go too deep. Something like this, if we went too deep, well, I mean, there's just more body in there. It's not going to be the end of the world, but you want it to be second nature to tape off that bit. Again, make sure that your bit is straight. You want to check it to the top of the guitar, not any other straight edge, because then it won't necessarily be straight in relation to the guitar. You want your bit to be straight to the top of the guitar here because you want the hole you're drilling to run parallel to the top. Remember to take your time. It's going to go a little bit slower than you may expect. As long as you're making progress and not jamming up, it's going to be alright. Once you hit your depth, reverse the drill and back it out. Clean the swarf from the drill. Go back in there one more time just to chamfer the edge. Then we grab our high-tech cleaning material painter's tape. Test fit our hole. Looks good. Again, we'll position the body with our towel, hold it between our legs so we can clamp it where we see what we're doing easily. Get it started straight by hand. Oops, this is not a Phillips bit. This is another hex bit. That's something new. Let's go ahead and figure out which one we're going to need. It's that one, whichever it is. Probably says on the packaging. And we'll go ahead and screw it in here. You ever looked at a brand new guitar in the store and noticed these little felt rings and thought, hey, why are those off center? It's because it's kind of tricky to get them centered on here. I must have undone this thing 2 or 3 times. Finally gave up. It's centered enough for me. And then we're set. Let's move on to the top strap button. Typically the top strap button on a Tele is going to be about 2 3/8 inch from the edge of the neck pocket. We're going to use some more painter's tape to mark our spot here so we can measure to the center of the guitar once we know how far we want the hole to be. And again, we'll use our wood block to keep our ruler straight and level. We'll measure to the center of our guitar. We'll measure a couple of times to make sure we get it right. If while you're measuring suddenly numbers don't seem to make sense anymore, go ahead and take your time. Keep measuring again until they do. Maybe take a break. The angle I was looking at, numbers weren't quite lining up with where it looked like the top of the guitar was, so I have to check here with my awl and make sure what I think I'm seeing is what I'm actually seeing. You know, measure again if you're not sure. What is this, the 10th time? 7th time? Hey, 12th time's a charm. Alright, we got our mark made. And we'll deepen this one the same as before. Go ahead and tap lightly. Give it your all. Scratch all. Go ahead and test our hole. Looks good. Our drill bit is still straight from before. Put a little tape here so we can make sure we keep our bit parallel with the surface of our guitar. Grab some more of that high-tech cleaning adhesive, our painter's tape. Take your time on this one, you've got a ways to go. We'll try and keep that felt centered as best we can. Alright, everything's looking good. Up next we'll be installing the control plate assembly. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.